What's up, guys? How's it going? So I have a little bit of a tip to teach you guys for those of you who are tier 3, tier 4, or just anyone generally trying to build troops and wanting to know, well, how long will it take me with a certain amount of training speed? Well, I have the answer for you. So, all you gotta do is go to your stats here. Of course, there are a couple of ways to do this, but most of the time your training speed is what we will ultimately need. So you will need to know what this number is. In case you want to know, well, how do I increase it? Pretty simple. All you need to do is produce manners. Manners each at level 25 will give about 20%. The other places that you can add training speed is in your heroes. There are some pay-to-win heroes like Dream Witch who have training speed, so look out for those. And of course, having that all said, once you have those ratios, all right, let's say I want to print 5,375, right? And it takes a day and 7 hours. Cool. But let's say I wanted to know, what that training speed would be if it was, let's say right now it's 473 and I train tier 4 troops. How long is that going to take me? It says here it's going to take... Let's see. Hold on. May have input the ratios incorrectly. Ah, I see the problem. Okay, my bad. So we'll hit that button. And then what this does is it tells me it is taking an hour, 7 hour, one day, 7 hours, 16 minutes, and 5 seconds, which also happens to be exactly what this time says. Now, having that said, it will tell you it is going to cost you 5 million, 4 million, 5 million, 2 million, which this translates over to gold in our case. Alright, so this here is even not actually far from the truth. This is 193,000. And if you're wondering, well, how do I know if that's right? Easy way to tell is just take the number, which is 36, times whatever amount you're training, and what do you know? Power gained is correct. Okay, it is per 1,000 units. Okay, so if you had 100 units, 5,375 times 1,000 is the total number of resources, which coincidentally also happens to be the amount of ore that it's using. Same thing for ore over here. It requires 0. So, of course, this is going to be a little bit different, but this ratio here is going to hold true. So these ratios here are correct. What is incorrect? Well, I mean, obviously in this case, it's this is infantry, but basically you can trust these ratios. They are accurate, as well as power gained, which in our case is might. In fact, you can even put in how many points you're getting for those units, and this ratio will be basically correct with that as well. So, having that said, though, you could even change this over to healing. So, if you wanted to know how many resources it was taking you to heal those troops, or how long it would take you to heal those troops, this is correct as well. But having that said, again, I hope you find this a little bit helpful, because again, this will help you determine how long it will take you to print your troops. So if I wanted to say, let's suppose I'm printing 5,375 and it takes me exactly a day and 7 hours to do, then I can tell you that at 5,375 it will take me 2,000 gems, roughly. So if I'm at 2,000 gems right now, let's suppose I pop a 10% boost. Or maybe in the future, maybe I go to 513. I can click on 513, and then I can determine that instead of it being a day and 7 hours, that it's now a day and 5 hours, meaning that it cuts about 200 to 300 gems for about 10 to 15% worth of training boost. Now, obviously, that isn't relevant at this stage because of such a high training boost. But when you're, like maybe 220, 230, you're gonna see a pretty big difference. And it's just noteworthy because if you guys take advantage of this stuff, it will help you out a lot. I hope you find this at least somewhat useful because, again, this all correlates to all of our troops in the game. So you can calculate your infantry, range, and cavalry. Or if you wanted to, you can click on mix of infantry, range, and cavalry and then pick whatever unit type and how many of each type, and you could train that. And this will actually tell you how many resources it would take you in total to train that many all at the same time. So if, let's say, you know, if you're training 5,375, then it's going to take you this amount to train 5,375 per unit. Like, that's if you were going to mix them, basically, which I guess what it's really saying is you take 5,375 divided by 3, and that's technically, this is what it's calculating, is 1791 between those 3 units. Anyways, so like I said, I hope you find this somewhat helpful. I'll have the links below. Of course, if you guys want something in a little bit more detail, I will be covering this spreadsheet in the link below. And of course, if you guys want to actually get a little bit more in-depth video, just check the card here, and then you can check out this video that will help explain the spreadsheet. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you find this somewhat useful, and please feel free to hit subscribe, comment, and like below. It'll help me out quite a considerable amount. And, well...